Good day, everyone. I'm Apostle Kim Walker,
How you doing? I'm Pastor Troy Walker.
and this is The Choice is Yours. And today we want to talk about the vision that God has given us to help the people of God. First and foremost, our ministry is called Cultivating Wholeness and Restoration International Ministries, where we help cultivate the body, mind, and the spirit of God's people. And God gave me a vision many years ago when I was a New York City police detective. And what happened was, about 22 years ago or more, I became ill with a lung disorder, sarcoidosis. But when it hit my body, it attacked the whole body. It attacked my brain. It attacked my liver, my kidneys, my eyes. And most of all, it attacked the lungs. And when I went to the doctor, I found out that I had tumors, I guess, granulomas, all over my left lung and half of my right lung. The whole left lung was completely covered and half of the right lung. And I remember the doctor saying, I don't know how you're living. And I pointed up to God. But God said he was going to take me off of my job as a New York City police detective. And he said, but in the long run, I'm going to heal your body. But about a year later, God came back to me and said, the only way you're going to be healed is if you eat what I tell you to eat. And I said, okay, Lord, what is it? He said, you may not like what I tell you to eat, but in the long run, it will heal your body. And I said, all right. He said, well, it's fruits and veggies. I said, okay. So for many years, I would get into maybe 2-3 months of eating fruits and veggies. And then I would go back to eating the crap, the sugars, the chips, the salt, the pizza. And I would go back to breathing hard and can't walk up the stairs. And it was really a mess for me. And it wasn't until I met my dear old husband here that he helped me with keeping myself on track. And I tried to give him a hard time with eating, but he stayed on me. He made sure. He would say, you're not supposed to eat that, don't eat this. And I'm like, yeah. But then he said something to me. He said, I can monitor you while you're home, but I can't monitor you when you're not. Because he would go into my car and I would have dummy me, garbage, a garbage bag, and I would have chips, not throwing away the bag, but I would have the chips in there and whatever I ate, and I ate candy. I would go to my sister's place and have little candies or whatever, and then I would come home breathing hard. And he knew that I wasn't eating right because of the way I was breathing. But it wasn't until I got tired of being sick. See, I have my degrees in counseling, and I had to counsel myself and say to myself, I don't want to be sick anymore. Especially when God has given me a vision to help others, because he said, you will be able to cultivate the body, mind, and spirit, and to help my people to be healed through their eating. And I said, how could I do that if I can't even do it for myself? And that's the one thing I always tell preachers. You cannot preach to others until you preach to yourself. And that's when I got tired of being sick and tired of being sick. And I said, no more. So what I did was I always worked out in the gym. I always tried to keep my body looking good, but I wasn't feeling good. And my doctor said, you look great on the outside, but your insides are a mess. My heart, I started having pains in my chest. They had to constantly check my heart. Could barely see because the sarcoid had spread it throughout the body. And I said, no more. I was actually ready to die. My doctor even said to me, he didn't give me that whole year, or he didn't think I was going to make it through the year because I was that sick. And when I said enough is enough, because if God is prompting me and trusting me to help others to be healed, then I got to be healed myself. So not only did I start eating right, I became a nutritionist specialist, and a personal trainer. And now my husband and I are even on Facebook with Cultivating Wholeness and Restoration International Ministries, that we put things on as far as health and what to eat and the herbs to take. And especially now with this COVID-19 going around, my husband, Pastor Troy, just put something on because he gave me something to steam, to put the old-fashioned way that our mothers used to teach us, was to put the Vicks in the water and heat it and let it steam. But he used some things that he will tell you about to help me to be able to breathe properly. And I've been through a journey. It was 22 years that I've been through sickness and disease. And I decided no more. And now at the age of, I'll be 61 this year, but at that age, at this age, I said, I have to be obedient to God and do what thus saith the Lord. So I just want to say thank you to my husband, because he's done a great job with me. Because if God didn't bring us two together, I don't know if I'd still be here today. So I thank you, sweetie.
Thank you. You're welcome. I thank you. I'm Pastor Troy Walker, and you just heard my wife, and I have to thank her because actually I was a bodyguard for 15 years, and I've been through a lot as far as physically. And what happened to me was about almost 10 years ago, I started gaining weight and losing weight and get myself in shape. Then I'd get out of shape and things would happen just like that. Come to find out that I had kidney failure in one of my kidneys. And what they said was one of those kidneys won't be able to function anymore, but I would be good with the one kidney. So that scared me enough to start getting myself together. Mm-hmm. And I was living out on Long Island, and shout out to Long Island. And I started going out to the ecology center every day after work. That's in Holtzville, New York. And I started running every day, going back to my old football roots, and started running. And I dropped about 60 pounds in a couple of months. It took no time at all. And when I first started, the first couple of weeks, every day I would run after work, and I would be sweating, and on my way back to the car, but before I get to the car, I would have white streaks going down me. Come to find out that was all salt from the preservatives of the foods that I was eating. So right then and there, I knew I had to make a change. Made a change, moved to Delaware a couple years later, and met my wife. And between here and, shout out to my family up in Chester, Pennsylvania, the cheesesteaks and things of that nature, I started getting into those. Then one day my son was here. Our son and my granddaughter was here, and I got a pain in my chest. Go to the hospital, and they said I had an episode. So the doctor told me if I wanted to see my granddaughter graduate high school, that I need to cut it all out. So right then and there, we started the journey there. And it was slow going for a minute. Then I had a little injury at work about 2 years ago where I had carpal tunnel in my wrist and tennis elbows in my elbows. And right then and there, I was like, uh-oh, I got to use this time wisely because I couldn't work. So what I decided to do was to start researching foods and everything that we need to get ourselves together, because my wife had been telling me what God was telling her. So she was actually the lead on that. So I just kept in line with her, whatever she was saying. And come to find out, this is where we are now, doing a whole lot better. We're not eating meat right now, any kind of meat at all. Right. So you can not eat meat and be full. Mm-hmm. I'm a big guy, and I'll tell you right there myself, you can eat without eating meat and be full.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
We are conditioned to eat meat in this country. Mm-hmm. It's up to you. As the name of this whole entire thing is, the choice is yours. That's basically my story. And we're here to help. And we have a Facebook page. If you have any questions, you can get to us on that. We ask that you would like, subscribe, hit that notification bell for this YouTube post. And we'll be coming at you weekly with a different post of different topics pertaining to your health and your fitness. Real wealth and health.
Absolutely.
Because what we're being taught is not actually real health.
Right. Absolutely.
It's we're being taught how to go back and forth to the doctor.
Yes. Taking medications and things to that nature, because doctors had me on prednisone for a long time and I couldn't take it. It was actually forming an ulcer in my stomach and I was bent over in pain and they had to take me off the prednisone. So,
but look at you now.
Yeah, I don't take any medications now. So I just thank God. So what we want to do is we want to help the people of God. to be healed through their eating and their mindset, because your mind has to change in order for you to change your eating habits. You have to really want to be made whole. You have to really want to be well. As Jesus said to the man at the pool of Bethesda in the book of John, the 5th chapter, do you want to be made whole? Do you want to be well? Do you wish to be healed? And yes, we wish to be healed, and we wish for you all to be healed, and we pray for you all to be healed. But you have to fix your mind, make it up in your mind to say, I don't want this anymore. I don't want to be obese anymore. I don't want to breathe hard. I don't want diabetes. I don't want high blood pressure or heart disease. And the thing is that the enemy wants to take God's people out. He wants for us to die early with cancers and things like that. And we fall right into the trap. We have an open door, a welcome sign to the enemy, because he's trying to take us out of here in sneaky ways of eating the wrong foods. When we go to a restaurant or buffet and it says all you can eat, it doesn't mean to eat it all. You know, eat your veggies, even if you want to eat meat, eat chicken, eat fish. Don't get off of the burgers, the red meat, the steaks. Because if we are going to preach to others, we got to preach to ourselves. I'm a stone believer of you can't tell anybody anything until you tell yourself that. We need to preach to ourselves first. And the thing is the church have it down pat with the praying, the prophesying, the preaching, really hard, belly sticking out, and we have to represent God the way he wants us to. We have to look great for God. We can't represent God being sick and stomach sticking out and breathing hard and huffing and puffing when we're trying to tell somebody else how to live. You got to learn how to live for yourself. So that's what we're here for. We're here to try to help God's people to be made whole, to be well, to change their mindset. We already have the spiritual part down. Now let us get the body and the mind down.
It's all together. Goes all together.
Absolutely.
Everything goes together. And with that being said, we will take any questions that you guys may have. We just need you to understand what we're doing. Your body is a system. Your body works as a system. It's connected to the earth and it's connected to the sun. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask, because we'll get deeper into that. But everything works together. What's happening now with the COVID and 5Gs and things like that, every time there's a new technological advance, something happens, because we're natural beings. But we're being taught to pull away from nature and pull more to technology. You can have both, but you just have to know what you're doing, okay? Don't get so far away from nature that you're just totally detached. You're a natural being. How can you be totally detached from nature? That doesn't make sense.
Absolutely.
All right?
Absolutely. You're right.
Okay, but we love you, and we'll be in contact soon. We'll be posting another post, all right?
Yes, and we will not only be having posts. I want you to look at our Facebook page.
Yes.
Cultivating Wholeness and Restoration International Ministries.
Yes.
And we will have an herb or herbs and maybe a menu or food that you should eat for specific sicknesses in your body.
Yes.
So we thank you all for watching us.
Yes.
Until next time, we're going to say so long.
Peace. Find us on Facebook. Love you.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.